Hey, I'm back with full battery. um, so, um, so I bought a headless mannequin with detachable arms. I can explain. I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw a little ad and it said, mannequin for sale. Right in town. I thought, great. That would be silly and funny to put a mannequin in my home. I don't know, might dress it up, do some art on it, make it artsy, maybe it could be a funny thing. I just thought it would be cool. And I'm like, all right, what? I have $40, let me go. So I picked her up, and she gets in my car. And then I realized she is permanently sitting down. I can't even stand this woman up. Like, and so like, we're sitting on the floor. I'm like, shit, I don't know what to do with her now. And like, I went to my parents after that just to like stop in and say hi, and I had some, like, when I was leaving, I had some bags I was bringing out to my car, just stuff, you know, from my bedroom and stuff, and my mom's like, oh, do you want any help to the car? And I'm like, no, I am all good. I just didn't want to explain the headless mannequin in my car. I just didn't know how to explain. And it would be one thing if there was like a funny story behind it, like, oh my god, I went to a party and like whatever, like no, I just bought it. And my justification was, oh, well, I'm not spending the money on drugs, so it's a good purchase. And then I came home, and I live in a building with other units, and I'm sitting in the parking lot, and there was something going on across the street. I don't even know what. And I haven't even met any of my, well, I technically have met a neighbor, well, so that's another story. I really haven't met like any of my neighbors, and some happened across the street, I don't know. So this woman is staring at her window across the street, and I'm just looking at her from my car, and I'm like, I have to carry a mannequin inside, and I don't know who she is, and she doesn't know who I am, but I live below her. Like, all right, Vanessa, you gotta do it. What are you gonna do? Leave a headless mannequin in your car in the passenger seat like a fucking psychopath? So I grab Tracy, and I'm struggling to carry her in because she's pretty fucking heavy. And this woman obviously sees me, and she laughs, and she's like, well, that's an interesting sight. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And then I just walked in the building, and I'm like, oh my god, I think my boyfriend's coming over tomorrow, like, do I explain this? Do I have to hide a body? Do I have to hide a body? Like, not a real body, a mannequin body that has detachable arms, but a body to hide nonetheless. Like, she's sitting down, which means she has to be in a chair. I don't know how, I don't think I can have anyone over anymore. I think this is it. I think it's just me and Tracy now. My dad did want me to get a roommate, so she doesn't pay rent, but she's quiet, you know. She doesn't eat much. And then I had an idea. I have some friends who do photography and will like plan a really fun shoot. Like, I'm planning one right now. I have bought these like really silly dresses, and like I'm gonna have like bunny ears, and I'm gonna bring a baseball bat, and like I'm gonna bring a headless mannequin, and like we're gonna go to this abandoned building, and I'm gonna like sit in a bathtub with like mold in it and stuff. So but I'm like, Tracy would be a great addition to the photo shoots. I'm gonna be the first OnlyFans account to fuck a mannequin. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna fuck the mannequin. And I also don't have an OnlyFans account. I actually made a video where I was talking about OnlyFans, ranting about my issue with OnlyFans for like 45 minutes to 1 hour, and I don't know what to do with the footage. Me and Tracy have been like chilling, partying hard. I mean, clearly she's a fucking party animal. Look at her. Quick story about my neighbor that I met. So, like I said, I'm in a building with other units, and I just moved in. I don't really know any neighbors, whatever. And one day I walked, there's a convenience store, like pretty much literally right there. This guy's standing in line behind me, and he's like, "Excuse me, do you live in the building over there?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I do." And I'm like, "Oh cool, you know, whatever, I'm on the bottom floor." He's like, "Oh, I'm on the top." I did not, take note, I did not tell him which unit I was in. There is 5 units on the bottom floor. I did not tell him which one I was in. I'm like, whatever, introduce ourselves, whatever, I check out and I leave. That was it. Very normal interaction. I didn't think anything of it. Cut to 2 days later. I'm here. It's 8:30 at night. I'm in my bed. I'm pretty much ready to go to bed. And I hear a knock on the door, and I'm like, what the fuck? And you need a key to get inside the building itself. So I'm like, okay, well, it's probably one of my neighbors. And I know I should not have opened the door. I know that now, and I knew that literally the second I turned the handle is what the fuck am I doing? I should not be opening the door. I open the door, it is that man. And he's no younger than 36. He's got to be, I don't know. I don't know if he's like in his young 30s and he did like a lot of drugs, or if he's like 45. I don't know. But I'm like, "Oh, hi." And he's like, "Hi, so this might be a crazy question, but do you want to go to breakfast with me tomorrow morning?" And I'm like, no. And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, have a good night." And I said, "Thanks." And I closed the door. And then I freaked the fuck out for like 3 hours. Anyways, yesterday when I had to carry in the mannequin, when I was carrying Tracy into her new home, I was really hoping that guy would see me. I was hoping like, okay, if any of my neighbors see me do this, I want it to be him. Because I want him to know that I'm fucking crazier than he is. And he doesn't know what I'm capable of. Because I have a mannequin. And that says a lot about a person. It doesn't say what it says about a person, but it says a lot. It means this person has something going on. I'll leave you now, and I will leave you on this note. This is a cool clock that I got from Savers. It was $5. It does in fact work. Can you see it? Yep. Pretty cool, right? And if you're Brazilian, you know what the fuck is up. More thing, I googly-eyed my fire extinguisher, and I highly recommend anyone else with a, fire extinguisher just hanging around, googly-eye him. Just do it. I dare. Folks, bye-bye. Bye-bye from me and Tracy.